Good day, Pokemon fans and Draft League players alike. This is Blazeman, and today I'm bringing you our Week 4 battle, our slightly delayed Week 4 battle of the IDL, the Intercontinental Draft League. Again, always a pleasure hosted by our good friend Twistedgames. Again, thank you very much for hosting the season, it's been an absolute pleasure so far. And in this week, we are taking on ZachAttack and his coach of the his team, the Pittsburgh Steelixers. So we came off of a very nice win against New and his electric terrain team last week. So we're hoping to continue that on with against ZachAttack and his very scary team here. As you can see, this is a very scary team. Tera, Okidogi and Porygon Z, possibly and most arguably one of the best cores in both of the divisions of the season. Again, I fall prey to letting out Tera Okidogi slip, but I did want to try Tera Slitherwing instead. So yeah, I stand by that. Again, and he's got a lot of very good supportive options around these two. He's got Mandibuzz, which is a great physically defensive wall, great setup denying threat, just overall good counter for any physical offensive mon, especially when it gets moves like Foul Play and Whirlwind. Next up we have Empoleon, who is again a good speed threat, a good pivot and a good revenge killer, because it is always bulky enough to live any one hit, and especially super effective ones, and can do a lot of damage or kill in return. And then we have REGIELEKI, which is a favourite of Zach's. Zach has picked it up in the 2 consecutive seasons of this league so far, and I'm sure he'll put in work with it. Last time we faced it in the previous season, he brought a screen set. I do expect a very similar set in this matchup here to support his Okidogi and Porygon Z, because behind screens they sound terrifying. Next up he does have Shaman, which I don't expect because grass types really don't threaten my team much. But again, Shaman is still a Pixie Pokemon, base 100 stats across the board. Again, great move coverage, can be a fat leech seed mon, so yeah, very good. Mimikyu I do expect, of course, because it does very well into my team with Play Rough and Ghost Stab. So yeah, that's a big threat. So it could be a Stalled Stance variant with Will-O-Wisp, or it could be a bulky threat to deny my Slitherwing any setup opportunity. And then we do have Sandaconda, which again is a very good threat against me with Stealth Rock, Glare, Earthquake, Stone Edge, just to really be a nuisance to my team. And then he has Terra Macargo and Terra Tarantula. I don't really expect these two, just because I think his top 8 Pokemon are a lot more scarier. So this week we are bringing, Gengar this week in an offensive capability. Again, just faster than all of his team outside of REGIELEKI, and just does really well against this team. We are bringing the Slitherwing next as our Team Terra captain, with the Mirror Herb to try and check the Okidogi. There was a lot of sort of premeditated thought as to what Terra type he would be. I debated between a couple of types, so I chose to be Fire this matchup. Fire Stab just does really well into ZachAttack's team, and I think that's the stab I'm going to go with. It also makes me immune to any potential sort of burning the Mimic you might want to go for. Next up we are bringing our Florges here. It's a very good Wish Baton Pass set, very good pivot against a lot of his Pokemon, soft check Shaman, Okidogi, good switch into Mandibuzz, and can check that elusive Porygon Z. And next up we are bringing our Galvantula here, which is a great offensive threat, outspeeds again all his team naturally aside from Okidogi, REGIELEKI, and just does really well in the offensive capabilities. Again, this team does not want to switch into Dual Stab plus Grass move, and yeah, it just does really well. Next up we do have our we are bringing our Crocodile off the bench again to soft check the Okidogi plus the Mimikyu. Does really well, again unaware, so it negates all the boosting moves. And then we can just click Will-O-Wisp or Yawn to get the threats out, and to punish them by burning them, and just clicking Flamethrower to weaken them down. Last but not least, we do have Piloswine here. We're rocking a mixed defensive set with Stealth Rocks. Again, just Ground plus Ice does very well into this team, and Stealth Rocks do really help out with our just ability to get chip on the team. Everything takes either 25%, either 25% or 12% outside of the Empoleon, the Okidogi and the Sandaconda. Now, that is the team, so we will jump into the battle. Best of luck to Zachmander. I'm sure we'll have a good match, and I will see you all in the battle. But yes, so here we go. As you can see, he did decide to bring the Tera Okidogi, which is Tera Poison. You can also see that he has brought his Porygon Z, his Mandibuzz, his Empoleon, his Regieleki, and his Mimikyu. Now, I was not expecting the Regieleki, if I'm honest with you. Obviously, I did expect it could be screens, but I was expecting the Sandaconda to be a 6th Mon, because in prep that Mon was an absolute nightmare. But I did expect the other 5. So I'm going to elect to lead off with my Galvantula. As you can see, we are expert belt, so I'm just going to lead off with my Galvantula and just click some buttons because he does not have good switch-ins. So as you'll see here, he's going to lead off with Regieleki. So I was expecting this thing to just click Volt Switch. It doesn't want to stay in against me. I do have a Pilot 1 in the back, and it just doesn't want to stay in. So we do actually see, of course, he only had 4 Pokemon. So here we go. So he does actually click the Thunder Cage, which was not something I expected whatsoever. So Zach really caught me off guard with this. And as you can see, unfortunately, we do not kill it. It's so close to dying. And Thunder Cage is not a move I didn't even expect this move. I barely remembered that it got this. So unfortunately we cannot switch out now. And Thunder Cage does do chip. This is a very scumbaggy set, but again, these sets do work. Unfortunately, I can't prep for everything. I do not have the ability to prep for Thunder Cage Regieleki when they have fucking Porygon Z, when he has Porygon Z and Tera Okidogi. So unfortunately we are going to go down to this Thunder Cage Protect set because I don't have the ability to live another Thunder Cage, and this is a real pain in the ass, unfortunately for me, because Galvantula is such a threat for this team. He does not have good switch-ins to this. So yeah, and it's very much a ballsy play by Zach, because he does get the offensive momentum and the pivoting from Volt Switch. Again, I had a Pilot 1, so it was a very risky play, but unfortunately in this generation, players like that really do make or break a game. So again, you know, fair enough, well played to Zach for going into that, and as you can see, he's going to go into a Sergeant Piplup, which is just a massive threat for me. Obviously now my Galvantula has died, which is Galvantula one of the reasons I wanted to keep, well, Galvantula was one of the reasons I brought it, because it does so well into his combination of Mandibuzz and Empoleon. So I'm going to go into my Pilot 1 here. I'm going to set rocks because he doesn't have a way to remove rocks outside of Regieleki, and I do have Spin Block in Gengar. So I do think getting up rocks is good for the chip here, but I do want to just keep the momentum on his team. So I am just going to go for the Earthquake, expecting this thing to go for the Stealth Rocks of his own. And of course I didn't bring any spinners this week, so he is just going to get 3 rocks, and as you can see that does about 50%. And now I do choose to set my own rocks, and unfortunately this battle is not going to be going amazing for me because the Empoleon has the ability to set rocks now because I have lost momentum. But again, so he's gone for Flip Turn, which is good. I'm expecting the Mandibuzz to come in here. So I do just set my own rocks. It just gives me a little bit more momentum, keeps the chip on Mons coming in here, especially the Porygon Z, and it means that Regieleki can't come in and quote unquote fuck about and cause my team any more nightmares. But I do have Pilot 1 now, and as you do see, Mandibuzz is going to come in here on the Stealth Rocks, which is what I expected. But of course they do have a free switch into my Florges on this turn here, and again Psychic Noise is looking very free. Try and punish that Empoleon in case it is Roost or lefties. Of course we didn't see lefties, so I imagine it's some sort of super effective berry, probably Troupple. But again, we do see the Foul Play, which does minimal damage, and my Florges is going to recover all that back with the leftovers. Unfortunately, I do play quite passively towards the end of the game because I do get really I'm so tired in this match. It's a Sunday night and I get super tired. But yeah, so let's go for the Psychic Noise here. And you are going to see the Empoleon come in here, of course. So I just want to keep this thing low because it is set up for Gengar and Slitherwing, because Empoleon can't do anything. The best it can do is just Flip Turn out. So you do see Psychic Noise does a little bit now, so that does force it to go for the super effective move, but I can just go for a Wish because nothing this thing really wants to do can touch me. So I do decide to go into my Pilot 1 here because I'm expecting a double into, what was it? I think I was expecting Regieleki here with a double, but he does just decide to stay in, I think, and click Flip Turn. So he does actually switch out as I predicted him to. And unfortunately he's going to bring in his Porygon Z here, which is just a massive threat to my team, if I'm honest, as it is a threat to any team in low tier. But we do see, thankfully it isn't Boots, even though it really shouldn't be Boots, so it is taking that Stealth Rock chip. So it does all add up, but my Pilot 1 actually can live a hit here, which is good. I'm quite sped out from this Pilot 1, so he has to be quite offensive to kill me here, like sort of Specs. So I do stay into Scout, and as you do see, this is actually a Specs Pilot. This is actually a Specs Porygon Z here. But I do choose to go into my Florges and just get off a Wish, because I know that there's nothing this thing can do that can, it can't OHKO me from this range. I can always get off a Wish and keep my momentum going in this battle. But unfortunately, losing Piloswine again is not good. I am down 2 mons and he is down absolutely fuck all, so it is not looking good for me. And thankfully it doesn't get any paralysis. But yes, that's just the Thunder Cage again. Really, just really caught me off guard. I didn't have the mental capacity to prep for that, unfortunately. So Zach did do very well in that sense there, capitalising on my my already stretched out team due to trying to play around the Okidogi and the Porygon Z. But yes, so we do just go for the Protect here, as Zach is going to of course switch out into his Empoleon to make the most of, to take advantage of my turn here of passiveness, well, needing to keep this thing around for the Porygon Z. But of course I can just click Psychic Noise on this thing because I am faster, and just keep it really low, because I don't want this thing to roost up, because now my Piloswine is dead. I have even less ways to kill this thing. This thing does just wall my Florges and my Crocodile. But of course Zach is going to make the offensive play and go for the Flash Cannon. He does actually just Flip Turn. He goes for Flip Turn, sorry. So he's going to go into what I imagine. I believe he goes into his Mimikyu here actually, again to keep the offensive momentum going. We do see the Mimikyu here, yes, and of course it does take Stealth up, which is good. And my Florges is going to live another day. So unfortunately we do get 2-shot now by the Porygon Z when it comes in again, but I do want to keep this around a sec because my Crocodile was meant for this Mimikyu and the Okidogi. So I'm going to go into it here, and as you do see, I believe he goes for the Swords Dance. Yes, so I'm glad I went into this thing, because of course I am unaware, and you're going to see that whatever coverage he wants to go for does absolutely fuck all. And I'm just going to go for the Will-O-Wisp, because no matter what Mon comes in, I do want the chip. But as we do see, he's going to make a good play and go into a Sergeant Pepper, which will obviously die to burn. And thankfully we do hit the Will-O-Wisp, of course, which is always good. Of course he's sacking off his Empoleon here. It's done its job. Pivoting around, got rocks up, and we are going to see the Porygon Z come in here. Yeah, so again, really capitalising on the fact that those first few turns of Galvantula really put me on the back foot. Empoleon was able to do not directly a lot of work, but again, keeping rocks up really helps with my Crocodile, because I am a fire type, so it keeps me low, keeps Florges in range of the Porygon Z, which we do see here. So my Florges will be able to, I think it does live 2 hits after if I go for Protect from this range. So again, Zach is really not stopping with the offense. He's really keeping his offense going, and it is just putting me in a not great position here, unfortunately. That Thunder Cage really helped out here. Really did not expect that at all, to be honest with you. I really expected screens to support the team. And you are going to see he does go for the Discharge, which is good because I do live 2 of those. I think he was predicting Gengar to come in here, and of course I can just comfortably go for the Wish. He doesn't have good switch-ins now at all to this thing because his Empoleon is dead. So we do just see the Discharge here, of course, no power thankfully, and we can just Wish off. So I'm feeling good about my Florges in this position. Realistically, I should have gone for the Moonblast here, but it was a roll to kill me, and of course we will see him switch out here because he knows that I just have to click Protect. So this is one of the turns that I should have been more aggressive in hindsight and just click Moonblast, because I get the Wish back off, because there's no way this thing stays in, because it will pretty much die to the Moonblast, which he doesn't want, because he wants to pressure my Crocodile. Again, obviously I was quite tired in this matchup, so my brain wasn't as alert as it is now. So we do see the Mimikyu come here. Of course, I would have broken this thing's disguise and got a fair amount off, but I do just go for the Protect here. I think I stay in here because I think I go into my Crocodile because I know he's not going to click. No, actually I do go for Moonblast because I think he's going to click. He does actually go for the Shadow Claw, which does a lot of damage. So again, I should have clicked Moonblast a turn before. It would have broken its disguise. But I decided to go for it then because again, as we do see, his red card on the Mimikyu here. So again, he does bring in my Gengar, which isn't amazing, but I am I am air balloon, so I'm not too worried about, I'm not too worried about this Mon, but I do want to preserve my Gengar because I do expect him to go for the Shadow Sneak here. So again, just a couple of plays that I've played a bit too passively, and it's not entirely worked in my favour. Also, again, I do apologise for the slight altered video. I've been experiencing quite some few technical difficulties these past few weeks, but I'm hoping to have fixed it in my week 6 battle again. So yeah, we do see the Shadow Sneak doesn't do much, and I do go for Slack Off here, which is again another turn I should go for the Flamethrower, because I do expect him to switch out because he knows he can't stay in, and Porygon Z is just going to come in and kill me, and I don't think I live a hit from full, but I do live a hit from full. That's why I went for the recover, so I can recover up on this thing and then go for the hit with my go for the Flamethrower and then do a lot of damage to this thing. But I do ultimately just decide to sack off Florges here because I can lock him into Try Attack, and I want to keep my Crocodile around. So I do ultimately decide to go for the Florges attack here because it does, even though Florges was really good, it does provide me the offensive momentum. I can now go into my Gengar and I can just click Sludge Wave for free because he doesn't have good switch-ins at all. This Regieleki dies. I can two-shot the Mandibuzz after rocks. So again, it does take a step back, but it does provide me with the offensive momentum I need to capitalise on this matchup after being on the back foot with this team. Because again, those first couple turns really just set apart the team. As you're going to see, Mimikyu does come in here, which means I get to kill this Mimikyu, which is amazing because this thing is a big threat, and I'm no longer going to have to worry about Shadow Sneak here. So we do kill this, but again, the Mandibuzz is going to come in here and just be able to live a hit. Oh no, it's actually the Regieleki. Again, this thing is living more than I'd like it to be, and obviously not wanting to lose my Gengar to Thunder Cage here, I do end up swapping that into my Crocodile. But again, this isn't a great rest of the turns for me because this Regieleki is just going to get so much momentum. But whereas I do want to save my Gengar because I'm always faster than Okidogi. In hindsight, I should have just killed this Regieleki because it's just going to go for the Thunder Cage anyway, and I could have got another hit off on another threat, but I do believe I just decided to switch out into Crocodile here. Again, not my best play. So yeah, again, just really capitalise on the fact that Zach is going to now get the rocks away as well, so he's going to get so much use out of this Regieleki. Again, first due to catching me off guard, but now just due to me not making the best plays. As you can see, that Thunder Cage, I barely live. But I do unfortunately give him the ability to click Rapid Spin, which again is not great because then the Mandibuzz is at full HP where it could have been at less HP, even though it probably was Boots anyway. And it still lives anyway, so I still have to go into Gengar and, click damage on something. So yeah, I should have just stayed in with Gengar, to be honest with you, and just taken the Thunder Cage and killed it because then I could have killed something else. And yeah, unfortunately, this battle does not get much better than this. Again, Zach has really just caught me off guard with this team. So I'm just going to choose to click Flame Charge, but you're going to see he's going to get Thunder Cage off, unfortunately. And this Regieleki really was the pivotal Pokemon in this matchup. It has done more damage than I would like to admit, and more damage than I would really want it to do. But thankfully, he does go for the Protector Scout, so I don't immediately get fucked by Thunder Cage, but he's going to go for the Thunder Cage the next turn just to keep me low. And again, really well played to Zach, but I just really did not think that this set would be a possibility. As you can see, that did so much damage. But I'm keeping Gengar around in the back because hopefully I can sweep. But again, this is Poison Okidogi, so unfortunately it does do... Leech Life will not do much to it, so I did have a different set originally because I did initially expect Terra Poison, but then I thought he might be a different Terra type, so I changed the set to counteract that Terra type. But I should have just stayed with the Terra type I had, and as you can see here, he is Poison, so Leech Life won't do anything. And I do go for the Bulk Up here, and then as he goes for the Bulk Up, and of course the Mirror Herb is going to proc here, and we are going to get a chance to capitalise on his Bulk Up with our Bulk Up. But Okidogi is just in this situation, it is just stronger because I am taking I don't have great coverage for this poison Okidogi, so we'll just be able to take on my Slithering 1v1. As you can see here, Leech Life is not going to do more than enough damage, and Tera and the poison jab or any hit is going to do so much damage because of his boosted stab. As you do see the Tera poison jab just come off here and just does an absolute shit ton to my Slithering, and he does get the poison. Again, unfortunately the poison doesn't make much of a difference because I'm going to go down here anyway. So Zach is going to win 3-0, and yeah, just again well played. He capitalised on he really capitalised on that REGIELEKI turn 1 and just absolutely took the game away. There wasn't much I could have done, unfortunately. Obviously I could have made a couple more aggressive plays, but in terms of losing my Galvantula, I could have gone into Pilot 1, but I really just did not expect the Thunder Cage. So well played to him, and we are going to unfortunately lose 3-0 here to ZachAttack in week 4. So we will of course bounce back, but yeah, this is again just really well played to Zach. Just there was so much there was so much this team had to offer from his side. I did not have the chance to prep for that. We shouldn't go for Shadow Ball here because there's no point clicking Nasty Plot because he will be able to kill us. We do actually get the Spadef drop, but of course he is going to click Knock Off. But yeah, so GG's to Zach, well played, and we'll see you for week 5 for Rivals Week. This has been BlazeMan signing off. Peace and love as always. Bye.